Well, coming to y'all again. Just a little topic that was on my mind. It's been on my mind the past few days since the past few days has been the first few days of this new year that we're in, 2018. And just got me thinking about this thing that I'm pretty sure, like, you've all seen it, like that whole new year, new me thing. And you see it every year, year after year. It's a new year. I'm going to be a new this. I'm going to be a new that. And yeah, you hear like commentary about like, well, here we go with all this, new year, new me crap. And I won't lie, like I've made posts, on the subject, like really new year, new you kind of thing. But I don't think anybody's like really got into, not that I've seen anyway, got into it like in detail about why, like anybody who would question somebody making fun of the whole new year new me thing. Well, let's dig into that. Like, why do you think people make fun of it in the first place? Well, here's my take on it. The reason why I think people make fun of it, at least me anyway, is because you can't be a certain way on December 31st and all of a sudden on January 1st you're all of a sudden going to be this new person. Like, how do you expect people to know who you're going to be from one day to the next? Like, December 31st is 2017. So if you're going to start something new about yourself on January 1st, most likely, just play the percentages, most likely you did not come to that decision, in the waning hours of December 31st, 2017, like, man, I need to change myself, like, going into this new year. No, 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 no. You knew you needed to change if you were going to make any changes, you knew that well before December 31st going into New Year's 2018 or whatever year that you're going to do it. You already know, right? You don't just make that decision. So I'm like, okay, let's just say, you had a bad experience in a relationship or something over the course of that year, and it's been the same kind of bad experience you've had in the past, and you say, okay, well, in 2018, I ain't gonna let, this whatever experience affect me no more the way that it has. Like, hold on. Let's say you broke up with somebody in like on August 12th, 2017, and it was a bad breakup, and this is a random date, by the way. Bad breakup. It happened maybe with that same person, and you try to work it out with them, and the same thing happened again, and it happened like that with somebody else in the past or whatever, and you say, okay, that's it. I can't let this happen no more. You knew that on August 12th, 2017. So why would you wait until January 1st, 2018 to declare, oh, this is the new year that I'm not going to let these same experiences that have happened to me before happen again? Why wouldn't you make that decision on August 13th, 2017, or by the end of business of August 12th, 2017? Like, yeah, this is bad. I'm not going to let this happen no more. I'm going to start making that change about myself, like right now, going forward. No, you know what? I think I'll wait September, October, November, and all the rest of December until January 1st, and then I'll start being a newer version of myself. No, 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 no. You could have had a rolling start into 2018 with that. Like, seriously, you're going to wait until you're going to let 4+ months go by. Like I said, this is just an example of if it happened like on that day. But I think a lot of times people are just sensationalized with, the new year and like making that like the restart button of everything. And I'm like, oh, okay, like that's fine. New Year's is a great, time to celebrate. Like, you're bringing in a new year. Now, a new year is great, but that doesn't mean a new year is automatically, the stop and restart button of your life with a lot of like big things. Just because you had certain situations happen to you, uh, you can make those changes right away. You don't have to wait until the new year starts. And I just don't understand like why people do that. And I understand maybe you want to have like that, like this is the exact day that I start, so you can have like a mental tabulation of like when certain things start. In January 1st, obviously, yeah, maybe it's a good memory thing to start over. I think people do it like out of ease, to say the least, I guess. But or let's just say you're trying to make a change like in your diet and your physical appearance, and you want to like maybe drop a couple pounds or something. Okay, and I know you don't just come to that decision like, oh, and even if you did come to that decision in December, like I said, you did not make that decision most likely on December 31st. So if you had it in your mind, like, yeah, I'm gonna start getting into the gym and like, losing some weight, trying to, drop these pounds and, tone it up, and, my pants ain't fitting right the way I want them to. I was like, okay, well, there's gyms that are open every day. You don't have to wait until January 1st to go sign up and say, hey, new year, new me, I need that gym membership today, like right now. There's gyms that were open all December. You could have signed up, you could have gotten there, then, as opposed to waiting till January. There's a lot of streets that you can go outside and run and jog on, or there's a lot of places you could do some sit-ups or push-ups like in your house, or whatever. You don't have to wait to get into a gym, or you don't have to wait until December 31st, or I'm sorry, January 1st to get your new you started. Like, if you want to make changes to yourself, now I'm a complete agent of change. Like, I use that term a lot. I like to see change happen. I try to instill a lot of change in myself whenever I can, but I don't base it off of, well, I'm gonna pick this date to start changing myself. Like, I'm gonna wait until October to like be this different kind of person that I'm not right now in May. Like, no. If I need to make a change to myself in May, it's gonna happen in May. If it's May 15th, and I look down, I say, man, I need to do some sit-ups. Like, I'm getting a little tubby or something like that. I'm gonna tuck my feet under something and do some sit-ups, or I'm gonna hang my hands, or hold my hands onto something, do some leg swings, or go for a jog, get my cardiovascular going, and just anything. If I'm trying to like get in better shape, I don't have to wait until the target date. I'll just get up and just start doing it. Why do people wait to make changes to themselves? Or more or less, why do people wait until New Year's to make changes to themselves? This is your life. You shouldn't have to wait until a certain time to make that change. You're in charge of yourself. You don't have to wait on anybody else, or need anybody else's approval before you can say, well, I'm going to start, not dealing like with these kinds of people anymore once this date happens. Like, if you and your best friend had like a bad like falling out or whatever, and you tell yourself like, like in, September, it could have been over Labor Day weekend, you and your friend had like a falling out for whatever reason, and you say, I need to start taking better stock in who I hang around with and everything. You can do that right away. You don't have to wait until December 31st rolling into January 1st and say, well, this year going into 2018, I'm not going to start, or I'm going to stop associating like with certain people, or I'm going to start doing better on, screening myself and screening other people on who I hang around with. Why weren't you doing that from Labor Days? It didn't happen before that. And then you had an incident happen that made you take like a mental stock about something. You should have been starting it then. I mean, in my opinion anyway. If that happened to me, I would tell myself like right away, man, I need to start doing a little bit better in this department, or, you know, making these changes like right away. I'm not going to wait, you know, September, October, November, December. Oh man, going into New Year's, yeah, this is the time I'm going to start, you know, changing or making changes to, you know, who I'm going to hang around with or anything like that. So come on, people. I mean, you know, me personally, I just want to know, like, what is the like wholehearted attachment to New Year's, like being the change that everybody wants to symbolize. Now I understand, you know, you want that attachment to New Year's or whatever, and that's fine. I mean, you don't have to make New Year's any bigger of a holiday than it already is. If you're using New Year's Eve as an excuse, or not excuse, or as a reason to, you know, go out and like party and celebrate and hang with your buddies and all that stuff, that's great. As far as I'm concerned, that's what that holiday is all about anyway. Spending the rest of that time of the year going into the new year, but spending the rest of that time with the people you care about, the people you love, and then yeah, you roll into the new year, and the new year is a new beginning. That's fine, but it doesn't always have to equal a new start to like a change in your personality or something. You'd be surprised at how many people's personalities, you know, mental personalities change on January 1st. Like, I think January 1st is like, you know, for me, like annual bipolar disorder day. Because how can you be one person one day on December 31st and say, okay, going into this new year, because the new year is also, it's a new day, you know, you're going into a new year, new day with a different mindset that, you know, you just rolled into that in one day. You could have been rolling into that, you know, plenty of time before that. You could have had this change automatically beginning and, you know, had started already. It could have been developing, could be full-fledged by that point had you started it earlier. And I'm just saying, I know for a fact, and a lot of people can't deny this, a lot of times people don't just come to that decision in December that something happened to them then. If that's the case, a lot of stuff happens in December to people that makes them say, oh, I'm going to make this change in myself in the new year. You know, a lot of people go through stuff in like April or July or October, whatever, and they don't make a change about something that they went through then until going into the new year, and they say, okay, I'm gonna be this new me, and I'm basing it off of these experiences that happened like months ago, and I basically deferred it until right now. Like, well, why? You just did that to yourself. Like, you went through all this, you know, literally like physical and mental deferment of change that you could have made to yourself, and just rolled it on over for, you know, maybe months and months. And all of a sudden this new year, you're going to start then. Well, my question is, why weren't you doing that before? You know, I guess in my mind, if something happens to me, I just say like, well, I'm not dealing with this no more. If I have like a bad experience with somebody, like I come across that, you know, I don't have to have any attachment or whatever, just a personal experience, and I say like, oh, okay, well, I can cut my ties to this person, and I don't have to have any personality development change happen later on. I can do that now. I do that now. Like if it's in that current moment, I say, okay, I'm gonna do it now. You start having that mental picture of I'm not gonna do this anymore, starting now. You know, and then you get to the new year, like you say, oh, I'm gonna be a new me. Okay, you can be a new you. Why weren't you being a new you when stuff was happening to you that required change? I just don't get it. Like I said, it's a lot of deferment that people really put themselves through, and I just don't get it. Like I said, I know there's this big attachment to the new year and wanting like different things to happen. Now you can want different things to happen that you don't have any control over, like I hope I meet somebody that I can be with like for a long time this year because it didn't happen to me last year. Like that's okay. You don't have any control over meeting somebody unless it's somebody that maybe you've had on your mind that you established some contact with, whatever. But I'm talking like random stranger person you've never met or something coming into your life that you would like to see happen. And you don't have no control over that. But if you want it to happen, you say, oh, okay, in this new year, like I'm ready to settle down with somebody, or I'm ready, for a change in those kind of things. That's okay. You don't have any control over are you going to get a new job unless you're applying to a bunch of places. But you say, I don't have any control over if another job wants to hire me. Maybe they want somebody new at this place, but it may not be me, and I'll leave that up to them. And that's fine. You don't have no control over that. But it's a desire. It's something that you want to see like happen in a new year. That's okay. That's great. But I'm talking about things that you can control in the current moment. Just deal with it right away. I just don't understand why people wait until the new year. I just don't. Now, I'm not trying to be like facetious or, imperious about, being down on the new year and the concept of it and everything. Like I'm all for the new year, every year. Like, hey, it's gonna be a new year. Let's hope some new good things happen. But at the same time, you say let's hope some new good things happen. You're just hoping for good things to happen. When you're hoping for something, you don't have any control over it most of the time. Well, I would say all the time. You don't have any control over the things you're hoping for or the things you're wishing for. Like, I wish this will be a good new year. Now if you're saying something about yourself, like, I'm not going to be this or I'm going to do this, in this new year. Now you have control over that. But my question is, were you thinking about it plenty before the new year started that you could have done something about it a while back, and all of a sudden you're trying to like latch on to these buzzwords about or feelings about, yeah, new year, new me. It's like the most commonly thrown around term, towards the end of I think people say new year, new me more than Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays because they're looking forward to the new year starting and they want to become this new person in the new year that you could have had you had every opportunity to have a head start on it already. But for some reason you hold yourself back and you wait until January 1st. I'm going to be this new person. And I'll tell you what made me come to this mindset, because I've thought about this, every year, like new year, new me crap. I saw this thing and it said, it was somebody who posted it on December 31st, and it said, wow, I can't wait to meet so many new people that I already know starting tomorrow. And it's like, wow, that really hit the nail, with the hammer kind of thing, because every year you hear people say the new year, new me stuff. Like, are you really gonna do that to yourself every year on January 1st, start deciding to be a new person, or are you going to be the kind of person that when things happen that require some kind of immediate change or immediate, uh, you know, soul searching, whatever you want to call it, are you going to be that person that does it right away and start becoming a better version of yourself as soon as possible, or the sooner the better, as opposed to defer? I mean, what if something happens to you like in February and you wait until January 1st, December 31st going into January 1st to say, like, well, I'm not going to be this kind of person like what happened to me like back in February? Are you kidding me? Like from March to April to May, yada, all the way through to December, all of a sudden you're going to start saying, well, I'm not going to be that, why couldn't you do that then? I mean, as you've sat and stood or, whatever, watching, me trying to relay this to you, have you not seen examples of that? Have you not done that to yourself? Now, I'll be honest, I've done it too. So I'm not going to sit here and be hypocritical. I'm saying these things like from experience, but long time ago experience. I've tried to evolve from, trying to, not realize certain things like right away, and then I see it later on, and I try to make that change. But trying to, grow out of that, mind state and say, hey, if something happens to me that, I don't like or whatever, I'm going to make that change right away. Pure and simple. I would need to become a better version of myself. So, if you see anybody, that they're trying to make a change about themselves, like going into this new year, that is a really big reflection of something that happened to them like quite a while back within the past year, but you see a patch of time that has happened from what they're trying to make a change about themselves now, as opposed like when it happened. Like anybody I know, like I'll bring it up, like, hey, I've noticed, you're trying not to, like date the same kind of person anymore, like going into this new year. Or I noticed, you're trying to like, I see you're on your exercise game now. I noticed you weren't in the gym from like, April until right now. Like, how come you weren't working out all that time? Or, why were you dating the same person or same kind of person, time after time, until this new year started? You say, well, I'm not going to do it no more. You knew you shouldn't have done it, anymore plenty while ago, but you still did it. And all of a sudden, you're not going to do it no more. What made that change? Why is January 1st the reason for that change? And that's what I'm trying to say. Like, a lot of people are letting a certain date have control over the changes that they make. When I say control, I don't mean like, they have that vice grip of your actions, but, they're basing a lot of their, mental state of operation around a date. I mean, a certain date on the calendar. I don't get that. I just don't get that. Maybe, if anybody has any feedback, hey, relay it to me. I'm all for some dialogue. Trust me, I am. I've been talking for maybe a little bit too much of your liking of time, but it's just something that I was, thinking about. So if you have any thoughts, let me know. We'll talk about it. If not, I hope anything that I said was worthy of some food for thought. That's all I ever try to do. I'm not trying to change anybody's opinion about anything. I form my opinions by myself based on, the things that I see. But, what do you guys think? Let me know.